People think they are too smart to be scammed. That is exactly why scams work. Nobody wakes up and says, "Today I will give my money to a criminal." They believe they found a secret, a shortcut, a miracle, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the more obvious the lie looks from the outside, the harder the victim defends it from the inside. Because scams are not new. They did not begin with emails, crypto, or suspicious phone calls. For thousands of years, people have been selling fake gold, fake medicine, fake love, fake land, and fake futures. The tools changed. The paper became a screen. The royal seal became a verified badge. But the trick underneath stayed almost exactly the same. Today we count down 10 scams so ridiculous, so shameless, and so obvious, they should have failed immediately. They did not. They made fortunes. They ruined families. They fooled villages, cities, investors, kings, and entire nations. Let us begin. Number 10. The fake object. Take something cheap. Make it look expensive. Sell it to someone who wants to believe they found a treasure. That is it. No plan, no empire. Just a fake thing, placed in front of a person who wants it to be real. Thousands of years ago, people were already shaving precious metal from coins and coating worthless objects with a thin skin of value. In the Middle Ages, Europe was flooded with holy relics, bones of saints, splinters from the true cross. There were enough of them to build entire forests. But people bought them anyway, because they were not buying bone or wood. They were buying protection, status, a physical piece of heaven they could hold. Today, the same scam wears cleaner clothes, certificates, authentication papers, limited editions, expert language. The fake is not selling an object. It is selling the feeling that you saw value before everyone else did. Number 9. The false authority. Sometimes the scammer does not need to be charming. He only needs to look official. A uniform, a stamp, a title, a serious voice. And suddenly, people stop asking questions. False authority weaponizes obedience. It makes a request feel like an order. It makes doubt feel like disobedience. In the 1920s, Victor Lustig convinced scrap metal dealers that the French government was secretly selling the Eiffel Tower. He did not own it. He had no right to sell it. The entire idea was insane. But he presented himself as a government official. Private meetings, official-looking papers, confidential language. And it worked. He sold the Eiffel Tower to a man who was too embarrassed to report it. That is another hidden weapon: shame. Admitting you were fooled means admitting you obeyed a costume. Today the costume calls from the bank, the police, or technical support. The message is ancient. I am authority. You are in danger. Act now. Do not question me. The most dangerous mask is not a black one. It is an official one. Number 8. The advance fee. There is a fortune waiting for you. But first, you must pay a little. A fee, a tax, a document charge, a release payment. Pay a small amount now, and later you will receive something enormous. One famous version was the Spanish prisoner. A wealthy man trapped under a false name needed money to secure his release. Help him now, reward you later. The prisoner did not exist. The fortune did not exist. But the fees did. And once the victim paid once, another obstacle appeared. A guard needed a bribe. A lawyer needed payment. The promised reward stayed just out of reach. The scam does not steal everything at once. It leads the victim down a staircase. Each step is small enough to justify. People laughed at Nigerian prince emails because they looked stupid, but that was part of the design. A scam like this does not need to convince everyone. It needs to filter out skeptical people and find the one person willing to keep answering. It is always the same promise. Give me a little reality now, and I will give you a fantasy later. Number 7. The rigged game. 3 cups, 1 ball. Watch carefully. At first, the victim sees someone else win. A stranger doubles his money and laughs. But that stranger is part of the act. The victim watches. He thinks he understands the movement. He thinks the operator is not that fast. He thinks he has an advantage. That feeling is the bait, not greed alone, the belief that you have seen through the trick. Then he bets and loses. The scam is no longer about money. It is about proving he was right. A clean loss can make a person walk away. A near win makes him come back. The victim is not only betting on the game, he is betting on himself, and that is much harder to quit. Number 6. The miracle cure. When people are healthy, they ask for proof. When people are desperate, they ask for hope. The miracle cure does not begin with medicine. It begins with fear. A person is sick. Doctors have no answer. Time is running out. Then someone appears and says, "There is another way." In the 19th century, patent medicines claimed to cure everything from headaches to cancer. Some contained alcohol, some contained opium, some contained nothing useful at all. The advertisements were always the same. Doctors do not understand this. Ancient wisdom discovered it. The establishment wants to hide it. Only a limited supply remains. Today it can be a detox, a secret protocol, a banned supplement, or a natural alternative. The sentences are identical. A fake object can steal money. A fake investment can steal savings. But a fake cure can steal time. And sometimes, time is the one thing the victim did not have enough of. Number 5. The romance trap. Not every scam starts with money. Some start with a message that arrives at exactly the lonely moment. The romance trap works because it does not attack suspicion first. It attacks isolation. The scammer builds a world. You are special. You are understood. You are chosen. No one has ever made me feel this way. Then comes the obstacle. A sick relative, a stolen passport, a debt that must be paid before the wedding. The money request arrives inside the love story, so rejecting the request feels like rejecting the relationship. The victim is not only sending money, they are trying to protect the future they have already imagined. Once they have defended the relationship to friends and family, shame becomes a cage. Walking away means admitting the person they loved may never have existed. The money is painful, but the real theft is deeper. The scammer steals the version of life where the victim was finally not alone. Number 4. The land of gold. One of the easiest things to sell is a place the buyer has never seen, because where the victim cannot verify, imagination does the work. In the early 19th century, Gregor MacGregor claimed to be the leader of a rich and civilized nation in Central America called Poye. He sold land, he sold titles, he sold government positions. He published guides describing prosperous cities with friendly people and great opportunity. People packed their lives onto ships and sailed across the ocean. When they arrived, they did not find a nation. They found jungle and disease. The same pattern repeated. Fake gold mines, worthless land sold as future cities, oil fields with no oil, resort developments with no roads, no water, and no future. The brochure becomes a website. The colonial map becomes a luxury rendering. But the promise stays. Buy now, before the world discovers this place. The victim is not buying land. He is buying escape, a second life, a place where the future has not yet rejected him. And that is why empty maps can be more dangerous than loaded guns. Number 3. The Ponzi machine. Inside, it is almost insulting. Take money from new people. Use it to pay old people. Call those payments profit. Repeat until the machine runs out of believers. The scam creates no real wealth. It creates evidence. Charles Ponzi gave the scheme its name in 1920 with a complicated story about international postal coupons. Early investors got paid. The story spread. More money came in. Bernie Madoff showed how elegant the machine could look. No shouting, no street corner, just steady returns, respectable offices, and a man who looked safer than the banks. He did not sell wild dreams to fools. He sold calm to wealthy people who wanted to believe they had access to something stable and exclusive. Victims recruit victims without realizing it. A friend tells a friend, a respected person says, "I got paid," and suddenly, skepticism feels rude. The machine collapses only when there are not enough new believers to feed the old ones. Everyone learns that the profit was never profit. It was the next victim's money passing through their hands. Number 2. The fake scarcity. Only today. Last chance. Final shipment. 1 seat left. The price doubles by morning. Fake scarcity is not a product. It is a countdown placed inside the victim's skull. Scarcity turns a decision into a reflex. It says, Act first, examine later. Thinking is the enemy. In speculative bubbles, fake scarcity becomes mass hysteria. Tulip mania, land booms, stock bubbles again and again. People buy not because they understand the value, but because they fear being left outside while everyone else gets rich. The real product is access, a place inside the winning crowd. The scammer does not say, "This is valuable." He says other people already know it is valuable, and you are late. That sentence can empty a bank account. The deadline is fake. The last chance will come again tomorrow under a different name. But pressure works because it attacks the part of the brain that hates loss. A person may hesitate to gain something. He will panic to avoid losing it. Number 1. The perfect imposter. The most dangerous scam is not a fake object, not a rigged game, not a fake investment. The most dangerous scam is a fake person, because a perfect imposter can carry every other scam inside him. He can be the prince who needs money, the doctor with the miracle cure, the official with the seal, the lover with the emergency, the investor with the secret system. History is filled with imposters because identity is the deepest form of trust. A forged coin can be tested, a fake document can be inspected. But when people believe in a person, they begin explaining away the evidence for him. There were false kings, false prophets, false nobles, fake doctors who entered hospitals, fake officers who gave orders, fake pilots and priests and millionaires. The imposter succeeds not because he is perfect, but because people need him to be real. A family wants the lost child back. A movement wants a leader. A lonely person wants a partner. The imposter does not create belief from nothing. He finds a hole and steps into its shape. Once people accept the role, they defend him, introduce him, excuse contradictions, attack doubters, build the stage under his feet. The warning signs are obvious from the outside, but inside the story, they feel like tests of loyalty. The disturbing part is not that these scams existed. The disturbing part is that they keep coming back. The fake coin became the fake certificate. The fake prince became the fake banker. The miracle tonic became the miracle supplement. The rigged street game became the rigged investment. The imposter simply changed clothes. 3,000 years passed. The machine barely changed. Because scams do not evolve around technology, they evolve around people. Greed, fear, love, shame, hope, urgency, trust. Every century thinks it is smarter than the last. Every generation laughs at the victims before them. Then someone arrives with a new mask, an old trick, and a story that feels just believable enough. So ask yourself honestly, not would I fall for a scam? Everyone says no. Ask the better question. Which lie would I want to be true badly enough to ignore the warning signs? That is where the scam begins. Stay sharp, and stay for the next dark chapter.